Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Deep Dives with Drew, episode 2. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna call it moving forward, but that's what we're gonna call it for now. Alright, so several things have happened here in the past few days. Today we had our first Little League games, so as you all are very well aware, all three of us coach football. And today we opened our season, so pretty exciting day. We all came up short, but you know what? We played against some great teams, man. I mean, can't deny it. You got to give credit where credit's due. We played against some top level competition today. But anyways, so for Deep Dives with Drew today, I think I'm gonna start it on kind of a heavier note. Not really a heavy note, not near like last time. But then I'm gonna end it with a little, maybe a couple little stories from the road. You know, where I was a truck driver. So what I want to talk about today, man, is community. When I say community, I don't mean I live in this community. I mean like feeling a real sense of community. Down here where we live, man, when we have an event like today, football games, most of our kids are involved in some sort of sport, whether it be football, cheer, volleyball, basketball, whatever. But when I say community, I mean I can let my kids wander away from me by themselves without having to worry too much about them. Because I can walk up to somebody and be like, hey, you see my kid? They'd be like, yeah, over there. We have a community down here. We're a proud bunch. I can go comfortably. I can be like, hey, I got to run whatever and do this. Y'all keep an eye on my kids. Yeah, man, no problem. Because down here, I can trust these people. And I know that if something happens, they're going to have my kids back just like they got their kids back. And they know that I'm going to have their kids back just like I got my kids back. That's how it goes. So I hear people say, oh, well, y'all from down there, y'all like this, y'all like that, y'all rowdy, blah, blah, blah. Well, we might be. We might be all those things that you just said. But I promise you that we're going to band together when we have to. We have a sense of community down here. Having a sense of community makes a difference for kids. Because kids sometimes, they need support from somebody other than a parental authority figure. My kids do this with some of my closest friends. I'm not going to go into names and none of that, but my kids will go to some of my closest friends and be like, hey, I got this going on. I hadn't told Dad yet. Because, Dad might lose his mind. But if they tell them first, they want them to approach me about it. And that happens. We have a true community down here. We look out for one another. We look out for each other's kids. Most definitely. We will crash out over these kids. And I mean, you really can't beat living like this. I mean, I've lived other places. I've lived in cities. I've been to the most major cities in our country. All of them. I've been to all of them. You don't have this in places like that. You might have it somewhat, but you don't have it like this. I promise you that. When I'm in those bleachers, 1,000 people walk past me and be like, what's up, Drew? What's up, Drew? What's up, Drew? And I know every single one of them. I know their kids. I know their stepkids. I know their mama. I mean, that's just how it is. And I wouldn't trade none of that for the world, because I know these people going to look out for my kids. I know these people going to look out for me too. And that's the sense of community I'm talking about. That's one thing that I'm going to say about our town. You can say what you want to about where we come from. And a lot of people got a lot to say. But you can't say that we don't look out for one another. And man, I absolutely love that sense of community. You don't get that in other places. You just really don't. Even here locally in some of the bigger areas here, you don't have that. I mean, yeah, people know each other or whatever, but they're like, well, I don't like this person or that person. Oh, I kind of know them. I mean, we went to school together. There was like 400 of us in our class. Kind of know them. It ain't how it is down here. We have a real community. We know everybody. And we look out for one another. I know I've said that like 78,000 times, but this ain't going to be as long as the episode today. I'm already at 5 minutes rambling about community, but it's very important. And especially important to kids, man. Kids love when other adults know who they are. Or they be like, I know your daddy. I know, I had you, I taught your little sister. Or I taught your older brother. Now I got you. We even know the teachers, man. And it's awesome. You really can't beat it. So anyways, I'm going to go off community. Say what you want to. There were some things, I guess, said about our community. Say what you want. We look out for one another. So I'm going to go into a few stories from the road. Truck driver for 3.5 years, going on 4 years, something like that. The only reason I came off the road was because I wanted to be here for everything that has to do with my kids. My current situation, I have to be here, which I would choose that 1,000 times over, but whatever. Anyways, I got tired of missing things. I missed my oldest son's first ever day of school because I was in California. And honestly, I worked for a phenomenal company. I worked for a mom and pop company. The owner of the company knew my name. And, you know, we're talking about a man that owns several tractor trailers, very wealthy man. He knew us all. He would come down to the yard all the time. He was always there. And he took care of us. That company was a phenomenal company. I would still work there if it wasn't for, you know, being away from home. But I was home. I would go out like Saturday morning, Saturday evening. I'd be home by like Wednesday afternoon on a good week. So I got paid for the way we got paid was we got our full pay regardless of how long it took. I mean, we got extra pay if we got layover and whatever, but that's neither here nor there. But so I worked for a great company, man. We had nice trucks, always new and updated. Something went wrong with the trucks. They fixed it. You know, there was only a couple times I ever broke down, was sitting on the side of the road, but it wasn't long till they got us a rental or somebody to fix it, you know, and, but anyways, so I've been everywhere, man, just like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere. And, Los Angeles was my home away from home. I mean, literally, I still to this day will get a phone call every now and again and be like, hey, how do you get to this place over in wherever, Long Beach, Compton, Carson, Pasadena, wherever in the LA area. I drove it all the time. And so one night I'm parked at a place that we used to deliver to all the time. And the way this place works is we'd get in there at night and we was allowed to park there. See, a lot of places when you're a truck driver, they won't let you come till the morning. So like, for example, when we was coming into LA, Interstate 40 runs from Wilmington, North Carolina to Barstow, California. So we would come out of Mount Airy, the company I drove for. We'd come up 77 north, get on 81, catch 40 over near Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Tennessee. And we'd run 40 all the way across if we were going to, most of the time, unless it was wintertime, we had to drop down to Interstate 10 or 20 or whatever the case, you know, to get down out of the weather, because you know, on Interstate 40, you're running through the canyons and stuff out west, and it'll get bad on you. But anyways, so we would park in a town. If we wasn't allowed to park where we were delivering to, we would park in a town on Interstate 15 in California, which is what you pick up in Barstow to go towards San Bernardino and Los Angeles. And we'd park in a town called Hesperia. There was a truck stop there. It was like a regular Pilot, Flying J, whatever it was. I don't remember 1,000% for sure. But they had a big dirt lot. I mean, there was never any parking like in the actual truck stop lot, but they was like just desert, and they allowed you to park. There was like some other little businesses there, a truck repair shop, a little medical facility. My light went out again. But they allowed people to, you know, they allowed truck drivers to park. So if we wasn't allowed to park, we would park there and go into LA the next morning, which really freaking sucked because traffic's terrible. But anyways, this particular place, it was in City of Industry, California, which is a suburb of LA. And, I would just go in, I would pull, because I drove night shift. So I would just swing in the parking lot, back up to the gate, or to the dock that we was going to be unloading at the next morning. I mean, I wouldn't open our doors, of course, because I was going to bed, but, just have everything ready so the next day my co-driver, which was my brother-in-law, could get out, pull the truck up off the dock, open the doors, back it straight back up, and we're unloaded and ready to go on to our pickups to come home. So I park out there one night, and this place is right across from a school bus lot. And the gate was open one night, and it was a pretty hard place to back into because it was like in a curve, and you had to back off the street. And if that gate was closed, which it was most of the time at night, then, you had to kind of pull up, back up, pull up, back up. It was really tight. But this particular night I got there and the gate's wide open. I'm like, man, it's my lucky day. So I swing in the parking lot. I'm just whipping that Peterbilt around. I pull straight up in that gate and I got it straight back to the dock. And I'm like, shoot, yeah, man. So I get the truck docked. I get ready to go to bed. I make sure the doors are locked. It's a pretty rough little neighborhood. So we do a little thing truck drivers do. I don't know if y'all know or not, but you take your seatbelts and you run them through your door handles on the inside, and then you buckle the seatbelt in. That way, if somebody does happen to pick your lock or break your lock or whatever, they still, I guess the idea is hopefully by the time you hear them trying to jerk the doors open and break the seatbelts, you're going to wake up and you'll be able to at least defend yourself. Well, so I get docked. I go to the back in the sleeper, and our truck had bunk beds, so like queen or a full on the bottom, twin on top. My co-driver's back here asleep, and so I crawl back here. I got the truck all ready and everything, and air conditioner's blasting back there. So I climb up on the top bunk, start watching Netflix or whatever. I don't know, 10-15 minutes goes by, and I'm like, what was that sound? I know I done heard something, but the air conditioner's loud, and I got my phone. I got a little earbud in watching Netflix. So I took my earbud out, and I just laid there for a second. I waited, and I heard knock, 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 knock on the cab of my truck. I'm like, man, what in the world is going on out here? So honestly, a lot of times it's just people begging for money. And so I tend to ignore it unless they persist, and then I'll be like, what do you want? So, this is a neighborhood where there's bikes riding up and down the street. And when we're docked here, literally the front end of our truck's on the sidewalk. So every now and again, you get a pissed off bicyclist that'll be like, you're blocking the sidewalk, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm like, whatever. So I put my earbud back in and I start walking. Well, next time he knocks, I'm talking about he is pounded on the side of the truck, like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to hop off here and see what's going on. But at this point, it's done woke my co-driver up. And so he's like, man, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm finna go see. So we got the magnetic curtains that separate the sleeper from the front of the truck. So I just crack it open and I peek my head out. And all I see, man, because all the windows in the sleeper are covered by snap-on leather to keep the light out in case you're sleeping during the day like I did. It'd be pitch black in that sleeper in the daytime. And I'll look out and I just see blue lights. And I'm like, man, what the hell's going on out here? And I'm like, all right, there's been an accident out here, robbery, something done happen. We're in LA. And so I'm like, all right. So I jump up in the front seat or in the driver's seat. I unbuckle the seatbelt, I unwrap it, I roll down the window. California Highway Patrol. I'm like, what's the problem, man? He's like, do you know what you just did? And shit, I'm thinking, you know what? I've been parked here for at least 15 minutes. I ain't did nothing. I ain't even been out of this truck, bro. And so he's like, you don't know what you just did, dude? He goes, where are you from? I said, well, the trucking company's from Mount Airy, but I'm from West Virginia, as you can see by the Flying WV logo on the window of the truck. He goes, you just pulled into a school bus lot. And I'm like, okay. The gate was open. Shit, I was going to take the extra room to back up. He's like, well, in the state of California, we don't go on school property when it's closed. I was like, okay, my bad. He persists. I'm talking about he's getting mad at me at this point because I'm like, that's not a big deal, whatever. He's like, well, I know you from the country and you're a hillbilly. And I was like, hold on now. Hold the phone. Because what'd you just say to me? I know you California Highway Patrol, but you going to call me a hillbilly because I pulled into a school lot? No more than 15 feet. I'm talking about just the front of my truck, just to straighten it up and back straight across the street. He was like, we don't pull on school property in California. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. He's like, I think I ought to write you a ticket. I was like, well, listen, man. I'm back here trying to watch Netflix. You done woke my co-driver up. He got to work in the morning. I'm night shift, so I'm going to get me a little sleep. Because, I mean, at this time, it's like 1, 2 a.m. Pacific time. So it's like, you know, it's close to the time to get up and go to work over here on the East Coast. And it's hard to adjust to Pacific time and Eastern time. And ended up, another highway patrol guy finally pulls up. And he's like, don't write him a ticket. He didn't know no different. And he was like, well, listen, I'm going to tell you this. He's like, I know y'all come here all the time. He's like, I ain't going to write you a ticket this time. He's like, but next time you pull into this lot, anybody from your company, so you go on and call your company and let them know they getting a ticket. I was like, all right, man, I got you. Next day, we were pulling out. One of our other company trucks was waiting to pull in. School gates open. He blasts right up in that thing, backs up to the gate. And I'm like, here we go with this. He come back. I saw him back at the yard when we got back to North Carolina. And he was like, you believe I got a ticket? I was like, yeah, it's my bad, dude. I didn't get a hold of the company in time. I'm sorry. Anyways, guys, that was just a random thing that I thought of while I was sitting here. I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. I got some wild things that's happened, and I'll get more into that on each episode. I'll kind of do that toward the end, dive into those stories a little bit. I got some creepy things that happen too, man. I got all kinds of stories. So, I got some feedback in the comments that y'all wanted to see that type stuff or hear that type stuff rather. So I'll dive into that some, but anyways, this has been Deep Dives with Drew. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.